Bob, the interview today is taking place in 2015, and I'm wondering, in your studies of film history, has the current landscape of film lost the art of storytelling, and if so, how?
I kind of feel that movies have bifurcated and gone in two directions. Certainly, big-time productions have gotten way more interested in crashes and blood spurting and phantasmagoras of all sorts that don't engage at least some audiences as old movies did. And so I would have to say, if I can judge from my own viewing habits, my own interests, that yeah, I do think that movies have gone someplace else. I find myself gravitating towards watching Barbara Stanwyck on the screen, or watching Tender Mercies, or watching Local Hero, or films that are kind of humanly engaging. But these have become, minority films. They are special films. That's the kind of value, I think, of the independent cinema, because corporate world, so far as I can understand, not being in it, the corporate world has gone into the entertainment business, and the entertainment business seems mainly like the amusement park business to me. And so there's lots of thrills and chills. But as a kind of human experience, which I feel we really want from movies, we don't get it too much, or at least I don't get it too much. I go to a movie like, oh, geez, X-Men or something, and it doesn't do anything for me. I just watch that stuff, and there's one crash after another, one transformation after another. There's no heart for me. But when David Lynch sends that old geezer on a lawnmower up to visit his brother in northern USA, I find that moving and beautiful. And so I do feel there is a kind of movie which is still being made, which is telling stories and involved with human struggle. But I must say that we have gotten away from that pretty commonly. Maybe it has to do with the zeitgeist of the time. I do feel we're sort of more dark and concerned that 9/11 changed us as a culture, as a country, and as people in a very real way. None of us talk about it very much, and none of us can sort of articulate it, and none of us recognize that others are feeling the same way. But I must say, I feel my own life has got two parts, and there's before 9/11 and after 9/11. And I do think that's to some extent reflected in the movies before and after that time, although the connection is not necessarily perfect and direct. But Lord knows, I just find myself, probably people from the 60s like me in general, going to the movies per se less often than I used to. Watch Netflix or watch TV. But big budget production films, I rarely find myself going to because I want something else. I go to a movie like Lives of Others, which struck me as beautiful, wonderful film. And it did win an Academy Award, but it's atypical of what we're doing right now. So I do think things have changed, and I hope that we can change them around again. One way I think we can change them around again, that we are changing them around, is that all these other little alternative, venues for movies are making it possible for people to do that kind of thing. In my book, I wrote a little bit in the end there when I'm talking about documentary about Charlie Bit Me, that little clip on YouTube, which I don't know if you've ever seen it, but there's a little boy and his brother sitting on a couch in England, and the one kid says to the other, "Charlie bit me," and ouch, it hurts. And you think to yourself, what the heck is this? Charlie bit me. When I wrote the book, or when the book came out, it was about 1.5 years ago. When the book came out, there had been 480 million hits. There are now 820 million hits. Obviously, that little exchange of two little children sitting on a sofa speaks to people in some fundamental way that people want, and they're not necessarily getting in big-time movies. So I do think that YouTube and Vimeo and all these other venues we have for releasing films is one way that we can get back to that kind of stuff, because you can do films more cheaply and you can do them more intimately. And so I'm hoping that that kind of movie making will experience a renaissance, but Lord knows the other kind of stuff is in control right now.